HopZine.com. Thanks for joining me for another video beer review. This time we are looking at the second bottle of beer from BrewDog's Prototype Challenge 2012. This is a bottle of their Jack Hammer. It's an IPA at 7.4% ABV. I had this a while ago, before it even became part of the Prototype series. I had it at BrewDog in Newcastle. A lovely bar. Really nice time out there with an old friend. And the staff there are lovely. It's a really nice bar. It's got a bit more character than a lot of BrewDog bars. I mean, they've got a very much a brand identity to their bars, but that's got a little bit of something extra. I like it. I think it's they've got a wall made up of it's like reclaimed kind of sports hall flooring. It's really nicely done. Is it that one? Or is it all of them? Anyway, I'm waffling now. So Jack Hammer is a 7.4% ABV IPA. So the beer in the glass, it's once again similar in the way of colour to the Nuns with Guns. It's that kind of like orangey coppery, kind of like shiny brass. The head dissipated quite quickly. Let's give it a bit of a swirl, kick it up a little bit more. Head, yes, definitely kind of like slight kind of brassy tinge to the white head, foamy, quite big bubbles, but a nice creamy consistency to it as well. Carbonation relatively light. So let's have a sniff. It's nice. Mangoes, definitely apricots, more of it like a jammy apricot. Slight kind of clove, no, maybe nutmeg. And I say that I get like an iron brew. Is that really? Just not me saying that because it's a Scottish brewery, but yeah. There's a certain kind of like soapy note to it, but more of like a kind of like a nice posh hand soap kind of thing. But one thing, mango, papaya, it's all those kind of softer kind of tropical fruits, and it smells much better than the keg did what I had last weekend. The keg was really musty, and I get a lot of that musty aroma from a lot of BrewDog beers, especially hardcore. It's in there, but not as much. Yeah, it's in there definitely. It's got resinous. It's a big resinous, slightly funky pine kind of thing going on, but very resinous. But on the bottle, it's a lot more subdued. Anyway, let's dive in. Cheers. Sorry, I haven't had the chance to check out the details on this beer. My phone's just run out of battery, but that's a lovely beer. It's really interesting. It's a really typical thing to say, but I mean, it's something, a conversation I was having the other night with a group of kind of like book bloggers and kind of beer drinkers and stuff. It reminds me of old punk, but a funkier kind of like slightly more maybe, I don't know what's in it, but that mustiness makes me think Simcoe, maybe Galaxy, maybe Nelson Sauvin. Straight off, it's kind of prickly, evergreen, slightly musty, resinous. Then it builds slightly sweet, kind of orange. Then it becomes like this big old fucking powerful surge of kind of bitterness, which is like a dirty old pineapple. And a kind of slightly kind of like wild note, which is a bit more like maybe slightly dandelion. It's got a perfumed lacquery quality on the back of your tongue. Slightly kind of, it reminds me right at the edge where you get near the skin. After if you've peeled a grapefruit, a fresh grapefruit, when you get towards that skin, it's like a bit like that. Slightly mouldy peach, apricot. Yeah, certain note that reminds me of little candy canes. I guess we call them sweet cigarettes when we were little kids. Little kind of like white candy sticks with like a red tip on. They took the tip off because it started looking a bit dodgy when you had kids kind of pretending to have a fag. I had them. I don't smoke. I never have. He didn't have me. Yeah, it's a resinous, prickly, punchy beer. Better than the keg. Sometimes I think some beers when they're a bit too full on. I mean, I've had some really hoppy beers that are a bit sulphurous when they're too young. I've had some, especially BrewDog, it's a bit overly musty. I think some of those hops needs to kind of like calm down because sometimes certain hop aromas are fighting with each other, and you don't get the best out of it. But I think this has really settled down nicely. After drinking Nuns with Guns, I thought, game over. That's a lovely beer. This is a funny one. It's a funny one how this sits. BrewDog do some really good IPA already. Do they need another one? I mean, it's bridging that gap between punk and hardcore, I guess, and the American kind of like template of IPA is around the 7% mark. Is this a contender along that mark? You look at some of the IPA that Colonel are turning out, Cannonball from Magic Rock, Buxton Axe Edge, those I think it's Ageless from Red Willow, all those type of beers. Can it stand next to them? Definitely some of them, but I'm going to say no. It's not close to Cannonball. It's not even close to that. And if you're going to put this next to something like Stone IPA or Too Hard Ale from Bell's or something, it's not even close. It's a decent beer, but it's playing in a really congested weight bracket. There's some fucking awesome beers around that mark. IPAs, big, chewy, lovely, fruity IPAs, which do the job better than this. It's nice, but it's mediocre in a field of kind of like a field of excellence, really. So good, but not good enough considering what it is, if you get me meaning. That's it, like Nuns with Guns, really, really tasty, unique Pilsner. This, average IPA, but not bad. Anyway, left of my waffling and pontificating, that is a bottle of Jack Hammer. That's a 7.4% ABV IPA from BrewDog. Part of their Prototype Series 2012. As I said, nice, but it's not going to win any awards. Anyway, I'll see you next time. Cheers.